This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, the future of a building with historical ties is up in the air, so City Hall is calling on residents for ideas. Social work students take a practical approach to their studies, but for some it's an approach that's close to home. And we chat with the university about its largest ever health research grant. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Residents are having their say about the future of a historic piece of land at Ocean Grove. The Dunedin City Council is calling on public submissions for what should be done with the former Tomahawk school site, but some in the area say the consultation is overdue.
Having a good look around, the former Tomahawk school site has been open to the public for walkthrough in the hope of conjuring ideas on what to do on the land.
We've just opened up the buildings here and got some lighting in so people can see inside the buildings and have a good look around the sites here just to make their own assessments on what the future use of this site and these buildings could be.
Tomahawk School closed in 2010 and has been owned by the council since 2012. Now the DCC are calling for expressions of interest on how to utilise the 1.6 hectare site. Tomahawk residents are wary about what to do with the piece of history in their backyard, and they want to see something done with the community in mind.
It's been a long time coming. 3 years we've been waiting for this since I've been on the community board, but finally we're at that stage, and I think that the issue now is for the community to have a look and decide what they want to do.
The purpose of the open day is to allow people to look at the building and its structural integrity. DCC staff are then asking residents to create comprehensive proposals while keeping funding in mind so they can create a short list of some ideas. Although ideas have been floating around what to do with the contentious site, no submissions have been lodged yet.
Only opened last Friday and we're running it for 6 weeks. A bit longer than usual submissions, but just give people to take time, get together in groups and have a good think.
The site will be opened up to the public again at the end of this month. Once the submission process closes, proposals will be assessed and presented to the Council's Community and Environment Committee. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Police are concerned for the safety of a 48-year-old man who's been reported missing. Peter Hamilton left his home in Oamaru yesterday morning at around 11:30, heading for Dunedin, but he never arrived. He is said to have a health condition that requires medication, which he doesn't have with him. Hamilton was last seen wearing a black sleeveless vest with a red hood and white writing on the front. He's believed to be driving a silver Honda Legend. Anyone with information is asked to get in touch with police. Second-year social work students at Otago Polytechnic are being encouraged to take a practical approach to their studies. One group is helping raise both awareness and money for organisations working in the area of domestic violence. And for some of those taking part, it's a topic that's close to home.
Cupcakes for a cause. This group of second-year social services students is spending the day raising awareness about domestic violence. Set up in the Otago Polytechnic hub space, the Wahine Toa group are openly discussing the issue and selling cupcakes to raise funds for several organisations working in the family violence sphere. It's a topic that student Tanya Gilbert Kennedy knows all too well.
My involvement is from a personal perspective, taken from I guess a childhood of in family violence. So I'm aware, having had some personal experience myself, and that would be the same for many of us that are here.
Fellow student Whenau Murphy says she's had a little experience with family violence, but it's still a topic not often spoken about in the Pacifica community.
Maybe because I've had people that I know that has been affected by domestic violence, and basically sometimes from the Pacific perspective, from the Pacific community, it's more of a hush topic, and it needs to be opened.
Both women reluctantly admit they feel brave sharing their stories, agreeing that silence just isn't an option.
Yes, I do actually feel brave, like especially representing the people who've told me their stories, and I'm sort of, advocating it on their behalf.
In a room behind the set-up table, a film of survivors' stories compiled by the students is playing. 39 Dunedin News has agreed not to show the footage to respect the privacy of the victims. The conversation will continue beyond this event, with a gathering planned in Dunedin later this month, calling for justice for Moko Rangitohiriri, a 3-year-old child beaten to death last year. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
More than $15 million of government funding has been secured for the restoration of Dunedin's historic courthouse. The announcement paves the way for a contractor to be chosen to lead the restoration. So far, 11 local and national contractors have registered interest in the project, which will include seismic strengthening of the century-old building. It's hoped a contractor will be appointed by October to show the local community that progress is being made. The entire project is expected to be completed by early 2018. University of Otago researchers are being allocated millions of dollars in funding from the New Zealand Health Research Council. Staff say the almost $44 million grant shows the council has faith in the work being done in Dunedin, and the extra funding may lead to important innovation in the health sector long term.
Checking the figures. The University of Otago has just received more than $43 million from the Health Research Council in its latest funding round. Professor Richard Blakey is the institution's Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Research, and he says the announcement reflects the faith the council has in the university.
We received $43.8 million in this latest Health Research Council funding round, which is, as far as I'm aware, the biggest win ever for the University of Otago out of the Health Research Council.
He says the money will help with a raft of research projects, which will hopefully benefit the country long term.
Through taxpayer funding, the value of health research is evident, and these projects and programs will deliver things of real and tangible benefit for New Zealanders.
Blakey says receiving the grant money helps cement Otago's researchers as world leaders in several research areas.
The competitive nature of these funds is such that anything that gets funded has to be at the cutting edge of its discipline. So yes, there will be areas where we lead the world. There will be areas where we bring in the leading international collaborators to work with us to help address issues. And I think importantly, there's a number of areas where we are the only place in the world to do the research, particularly in areas of Māori health.
The Dunedin study, which has been tracking the birth, growth and development of a group of Dunedin residents since the 1970s, is one project which has received further funding. It's being joined by a new but similar study in Christchurch.
Viewers in Dunedin might be very pleased to know that there are now 2 Otago University longitudinal studies that will be funded in parallel, the Dunedin study, which we're all very familiar with. But there's a second cohort study out of Christchurch that also received a program of funding.
A handful of academic fields have been funded, including research into Māori mental health, the effects of vaporising tobacco, and many more. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, a buyer is found for the Hyde railway station, and hundreds turn out to remember those who died in the mass shooting in Orlando.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Junk-free June is about making a change that makes you healthier and happier. Kick the junk or that bad habit during June and you'll be helping yourself and supporting the Cancer Society. Get others to support you and get rewarded with discounts on some great products and services too. Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started. You'll be doing good for you and for local people affected by cancer.
Come one, come all to the Lana Castle Winter Ball. Traditional dancing, dining and fun to be had. Dress up in your Victorian costume and experience the glamour of yesteryear and witness the address of the haggis. Friday 22nd of July. Get in fast as tickets are limited. Call 4761616 or go online to www.lanarkcastle.co.nz.
To the people we meet in southern skies. Take your place, take your place, take your place, take your place in the world.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up chocolate.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Wake up time and another frantic day ahead for Haraway's Oat Singles. With 3 delicious flavours in each pack, they don't last long with this family. They're so convenient and tasty, and they're ready in seconds. Haraway's Oat Singles are the ideal breakfast or snack on the run for today's busy families. And there's a flavour to suit everyone. Beat the rush and make sure you get your favourite flavour. Haraway's Oat Singles. Try new Kiwi Favourites Caramel Variety Pack.
Driving Miss Daisy is a safe, friendly and reliable companion driving service.
Hello Jean, where are we off to today?
We form genuine friendships with our clients and help them to remain independent. Thousands of Driving Miss Daisy clients and their families love our caring, affordable service. Call us today for a quote on 0800 948 432 or visit drivingmissdaisy.co.nz. Driving Miss Daisy for the gift of independence.
Thinking of services for older people? Think Enliven. Enliven is a service philosophy where people come first. Enliven is about choice, activity, relationships, respect and security. You can enliven your health, your friendships, your life, no matter what your age. For more information, go to psotago.org.nz or call 4777 115.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up the couch.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Welcome back. The average cost of residential electricity has fallen for the first time in 15 years. The latest New Zealand Energy Quarterly indicates the average residential cost per unit of electricity is 1.4% lower than this time last year. The report also shows that in the past year there's been record retailer switching and continued growth in the market share of smaller retailers. Customer incentive and retention credits also doubled. And on that note, let's take a look at today's markets. The NZX 50 has closed the day up 19 points. It's now at 6,889. The FTSE is up 43 points. To the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is down against the yen, but we are up against the other currencies we follow. The Otago Central Rail Trail Trust has negotiated the conditional purchase of the Hyde Railway Station. Trust Chair Kate Wilson has been spearheading fundraising efforts, and she joins us now to talk about the importance of the purchase. Good evening.
Hi.
How has this potential purchase come about?
The place has been on the market for quite a few years now, and the wonderful original owners of it, after it left New Zealand Railways, had been hoping someone would buy it and have it on site. We then were advised through New Zealand Historic Places Trust, as it was then, that they had heard whispers that it might go off to a vineyard and be transported off-site, and they really encouraged us to say that they could no longer say that they couldn't let it move because it had been on the market so long. So we thought, oh, that would just be catastrophic. Yeah. We'd get blamed if we didn't try. So we decided to that the owners were very, very kind and gave us a very long conditional agreement. We've gone off to trusts and tried to raise as much of it as we can. We've raised 109,000. Nice. So we're now going out to ask the community to help us just over that line. But we haven't got long.
How much more do you need?
Another 15,000.
It's not too bad.
No, but
it's easy.
We've got only until the 30th of June to do that.
Oh, the community is going to come together now that they know about it. What is the history and the significance of this site?
Hyde, there's a number of significances. Hyde itself is a gold mining town. It was just a place that developed really around the gold and around the railway. Most famously for the 1940, just 5 kilometres south was the major train disaster in 1943 on the 4th of June when 21 people died, and that was a train going down to the winter show, and it was a tragedy, going too fast around a quiet corner. So Hyde is well known for all the wrong reasons in that regard. But on the rail trail, it is the only railway station that's kept in its original form, really, and original purpose still, with rolling stock, which we haven't got anywhere else along the trail. And we know that the heritage of the rail heritage is a really important part of the rail trail experience. People love it. They take lots of photos. We've seen people post photos that they've taken. So we know that, and to lose it would just be sad.
Now, if the purchase is successful, will the rail trail course be altered in any way?
Yeah. So when, because that all happened before the rail trail was created, they actually took the rail trail onto a wee section of a road there and took it away from the actual alignment. So you go there and there's a curve, which is unusual on the rail trail. So we want to put it back amongst the wagons that are there, and hopefully open the doors at times so that people can get in and have a look at. There's quite a interesting collection of chattels that are in there that will it would be great. And then there's an area that we can use in other ways, and we're really keen to hear how people would like to see it used. We think an exhibition space, but an artist residency would be great as well. I'm sure there'll be artists inspired by our landscapes.
Sure there will be. Is the popularity of the rail trail increasing?
It's about 14,000 a year. Certainly it is a key international market now as opposed to just New Zealanders. I'd say 50% of them are international people coming, which bring more dollars into the country actually. But I think with all the other rail trails and the other opportunities that are there, I think they will increase. I think it's been a better year this year. The numbers aren't in yet though.
Now, you've mentioned earlier that you've received a few grants towards the purchase price so far. Who have they come from?
Well, the first one came from the Combined Lines, and that was $10,000 and barely any paperwork required. The Strathtyra Community Board, $4,000, $3,000 from the Dunedin City Heritage Trust, but what really helped it was the $20,000 from the Otago Community Trust and $30,000 from lotteries. We're putting in $32,000 ourselves from the trust itself, and we know that there are other parties out there. Oh, sorry, $5,000 from the AAW Jones Trust and $5,000 from the Alexander Macmillan Trust. You know, all really great amounts, and it's really hard out there at the moment. So we're pretty. I think we've received everything we've asked for.
Absolutely, but how can the public help?
We've got a Give a Little page under the Otago Central Rail Trail or under Hyde Railway Station. If you search those, we'll happily take any donation is gratefully received. Really nice postings, both from Australians at the moment who are giving, but also the guy in Alan who just gave some money because his father used to work there. And just every bit counts, and it is about giving a little and we'll get a great thing.
Well, good luck with that. Otago Central Rail Trail Trust Chair Kate Wilson, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, hundreds mourn the victims of Orlando's mass shooting, and a magician pops into local schools with tips on combating bullying.
Emu oil has been used for centuries to support joint mobility and tired muscles. Also helpful for supporting healthy skin. Available as oil or in capsules. Go to www.silverhorn.co.nz to order emu oil today.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up the couch.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Come one, come all to the Larnach Castle Winter Ball. Traditional dancing, dining and fun to be had. Dress up in your Victorian costume and experience the glamour of yesteryear and witness the address of the haggis. Friday 22nd of July, get in fast as tickets are limited. Call 4761616 or go online to www.larnachcastle.co.nz.
She's 21 metres long with a 6.7 metre beam. She can support diving, seafloor mapping and sampling, deep water measurements, and has onboard laboratories. She has a range of 1,000 nautical miles, which means the Polaris 2 can take your studies further than you ever thought possible. My name's Will Raymond, and this is My Place in the World.
Take your place in the world.
We're a 25 Moray place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focusing on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
It's Junk-Free June.
I'm giving up chocolate.
Go to junkfreejune.org.nz today and get started.
Thinking of services for older people? Think Enliven. Enliven is a service philosophy where people come first. Enliven is about choice, activity, relationships, respect and security. You can enliven your health, your friendships, your life, no matter what your age. For more information, go to psotago.org.nz or call 4777 115.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Tune in on Thursday for Motorsport Night on Dunedin Television.
Welcome back. Hundreds of people gathered in the Octagon last night for a candlelight vigil to support the victims of the Orlando massacre. Hosted by the Otago University Students Association, the event was a way for locals to pay tribute to those who lost their lives earlier this week. It was also about showing support for the LGBTI community, both in Dunedin and abroad. Several students spoke at the event, with one speech given in Spanish to honour the Latino community who were the main victims in the shooting. Almost 50 people died in Orlando's Pulse nightclub after a gunman opened fire in the gay-friendly venue. 3 Otago Polytechnic students are being given government scholarships to further develop links with Asia. The students are among 124 scholarship recipients nationwide. They'll be heading to China to undertake a 14-week stint at a Zhejiang University studying applied management. The Prime Minister's Scholarships for Asia program started in 2013. It aims to build New Zealand's involvement in Asia. A magician committed to delivering an anti-bullying message to children is visiting Dunedin schools this week. El Grego is in town to teach primary school pupils how to manage themselves in difficult situations. And he has a few tricks up his sleeves to help get the message across.
Rising above the haters, Kiwi magician El Grego is in Dunedin to teach children about good morals and preventing the spread of bullying.
It's the You've Got the Power show, and it's empowering kids to make good choices. It's reinforcing positive behaviour, teaching key values, and the main thing is to stop bullying in schools.
The performance includes all the usual excitement of a magic show with birds, disappearing objects and even a floating magician. But El Grego says he's also integrated a lesson about the prevention of bullying in the schoolyard. It's an idea he got after he was approached by several principals asking him to talk to students about bullying almost 20 years ago.
I started the show because years ago when I was at school, I wasn't bullied, but I saw a lot of bullying, and I always thought, well, maybe I could do something to help make a difference.
El Grego's show has been seen by nearly 900,000 Kiwis over the past 2 decades. He says it's a way to get a serious message across in a fun way. Over the years, the theme has remained the same, but he's started integrating cyberbullying as kids become more involved with technology.
And we've always talked about bullying, but of course the issues of bullying keep changing. And in recent years, we have added cyberbullying to our show. It's something kids will have to face, if not now, down the track. What they do on the internet, whether they're writing good stuff or bad stuff, when they get hold of a cell phone, that they're sending positive messages and doing the right thing.
This is one of 3 shows El Grego is performing in Dunedin this term. The show will then travel throughout the country to spread the message to as many children as possible. Annabelle Dick, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's news on 39 Dunedin News. The future of the former Tomahawk school site is up in the air, with the Dunedin City Council calling on the public to make suggestions. Social work students are doing their bit to raise both awareness and money for organisations working in the domestic violence sphere. And University of Otago staff are celebrating a large windfall of more than $40 million, which is going towards several research projects. Well, it's time now to find out what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times, and Barry Stewart's with us. Good evening.
Hello, Rebecca. A new Dunedin-China agreement promises to increase the number of students coming to Dunedin. So that's good news. Two Dunedin Catholic primary schools are under threat because of falling rolls. We have more on that story. Two Dunedin rugby clubs also under threat. Well, they fear for their future after having a look at the city's new next generation plan. So they have some concerns about that, so we look at that issue. Rugby test on Saturday, of course. Ben Smith will be playing his 50th game, so that's very exciting. So we have a look at Ben's career and pick out 4 of his best and preview the match as well. And all that, of course, is in our big Friday sports lift out.
Excellent. That's tomorrow's ODT. Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
Here is our city view. It's taken of trees in Roslyn. And around the city at 3 o'clock today, 13 for the central city, 15 at the Gardens and 18 out on the Tyree. To the situation, and the west to southwest flow is still with us. Looking ahead though to the weekend, and a weak cold front will pass over the country on Saturday. Well, to the forecast for some of the main towns in the lower south for tomorrow, nor'westers with some cloud for Invercargill, Gore and Te Anau, but a fine day for Alexandra with nor'westers and a high of 11. And it'll be fine with nor'westers for Queenstown, Wanaka and Twizel, and fine with very little wind at all in Oamaru and a high of 13. And Dunedin tonight, fine, but that means a little bit of a frost in sheltered places. Tonight's low 0. Fine tomorrow with scattered high cloud and light nor'easters, although nor'westers may freshen late in the day, going for 13. And on Saturday, cloud increasing with some showers developing later with a cold southwest change and a high of 14. To the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information, low tide tomorrow morning is at 8 o'clock, high tide follows at 10 to 2. And fishing conditions look reasonable tomorrow, especially at 5 to 10 in the morning. On the dot, don't be late. And that's all from the team here at 39 Dunedin News for Thursday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.